In the vast silence between heaven and earth, where the winds whisper of forgotten cultivators and shattered destinies, the path of immortality grows ever more treacherous. In our last journey, Wang Lin stood at the crossroads of power and peril, his resolve tested by forces both seen and unseen, as ancient grudges and hidden schemes began to stir once more. Now, in recap, Renegade Immortal Chapter 359, Chapter 360, The Storm Deepens. Shadows lengthen across the cultivation world, and the line between hunter and hunted begins to blur. With every step forward, Wang Lin edges closer to truths that could reshape his fate or destroy him entirely. What secrets lie buried within these chapters? And what price must be paid to grasp the next fragment of immortality? Let the tale unfold. Before the storm of destiny descends, a single thought can decide life or death. Wang Lin stood still, yet within his gaze, thunder gathered. "Situ," he whispered softly, his expression hardened, sharp as a blade drawn from its sheath. Without hesitation, he raised a finger and pressed it against his brow. In that instant, a radiant glow burst forth, 7-colored light swirling around him like a celestial veil. His figure blurred and vanished from the mortal world. He stepped once more into the boundless void hidden within the heaven-defying bead. The floating orbs of light still drifted silently in that mysterious space. Yet Wang Lin did not even spare them a glance. His mind was focused, his steps steady, as he moved deeper into the void. Moments later, he arrived. Before him lay the enormous soul of Situnan, and beside it, 2 gentle lights, his parents. Their souls shimmered softly, radiating a warmth that calmed the storm within Wang Lin's heart. For a brief moment, the coldness in his eyes melted. He stepped forward and bowed deeply. Once, twice, 3 times. Afterward, he remained kneeling, staring at them in silence for a long, long time, as though afraid that even blinking might cause them to disappear. Only after this long stillness did he slowly rise and turn his gaze towards Situnan. Situnan's soul sat quietly, eyes closed, as if meditating through endless time. Compared to before, his soul was no longer as dim, yet it was far from restored. It was merely a faint flicker of recovery, nothing more. Wang Lin studied him carefully, his brows slowly knitting together. "Your soul is here, intact," he murmured under his breath. "Then who was that?" His thoughts churned like a rising tide. That man, he called himself Situnan as well. He even knew the underworld ascension method. He paused. The air seemed to grow heavier. A realization began to take shape. Dangerous, uncertain, yet impossible to ignore. Situ once said, he fought powerful cultivators from beyond Suzaku for this bead. His body was destroyed, and he was forced to abandon it, hiding only his soul here to survive. Wang Lin's eyes suddenly lit up, sharp and piercing. The memory of that strange figure returned vividly, the one born from black mist, the one tied to that mysterious arm. Could it be, his breath slowed, that his body was taken, refined by someone else, and from it, a fragment of his soul was born? The thought struck like lightning, yet no answer followed, only silence. After a long while, Wang Lin let out a quiet sigh, a bitter smile tugging at his lips. "Senior Situ, if that arm truly belonged to you, then perhaps your boast of being the #1 expert under Suzaku might not have been empty words after all." But even as he said this, doubt lingered. The deeper Wang Lin walked the path of cultivation, the more he understood. The title of #1 on Suzaku belonged to only one existence, the Suzaku himself. Unless Situnan had once held that position, his claim could never truly stand. And besides, after being trapped within this bead for so many years, even if Situnan returned, would he still be the same? Wang Lin shook his head slowly. Too many unknowns, too many unanswered questions. With another quiet sigh, he turned and left the heaven-defying bead. Far away, in the icy lands of Shuyu, within the holy ice temple, a middle-aged man sat calmly. His appearance was utterly ordinary, so ordinary that one might overlook him in a crowd. Yet the stillness around him carried an invisible pressure, like a frozen sea beneath a quiet surface. Before him rested a dark red tea set. Beside him stood 2 elders, a man and a woman, both with snow-white hair. The middle-aged man lifted a bamboo container and poured tea leaves into the pot. Then, with a flick of his hand, he placed a cube of ice inside. A single point of his finger. The ice melted. The water boiled. A wave of bitterness rose from the tea, spreading through the hall like a creeping shadow. Without a word, he poured the liquid away. Another cube of ice followed. Again, it melted. Again, it boiled. But this time, the air changed. A rare, intoxicating fragrance blossomed from the tea, washing away the bitterness entirely. The scent filled the hall, and even drifted beyond its walls. The man inhaled deeply, a faint smile touching his lips. The fragrance of Tianquai feather tea, no matter how many times I smell it, it never grows old. He paused, almost reluctant. Pity it is too rare, only from Suzaku, and only in small amounts. He poured 3 cups, the teapot was empty. You two are fortunate, come, taste it. The 2 elders stepped forward. The old man drank quietly. But the old woman, her thoughts were elsewhere. She lifted the cup without hesitation, ignoring the heat, and drained it in one gulp. Then she spoke, her voice sharp with urgency. Sectmaster, now that the tea is finished, please kill Sengnu. The middle-aged man's brows twitched slightly, a trace of pain crossing his face, as if mourning the wasted tea. That Sengnu, he said calmly, is insignificant. If not for Suzaku's decree forbidding interference, he would already be dead. The old woman raised her head, her gaze burning. He dared to sever one of Red Butterfly's arms. Her voice trembled with anger. Red Butterfly is the hope of Shui Yu. And you, Sectmaster, you reached the soul transformation stage because of her. The old man remained silent, head lowered, sipping his tea. The Sectmaster's eyes turned cold. I have not forgotten. His voice dropped, heavy with warning. And I do not need your reminders. The old woman hesitated, but did not retreat. After a long pause, she bowed slightly. I still ask Sectmaster to act. The Sectmaster lifted his cup, taking a slow sip before speaking again. This Sengnu? He possesses a thunder toad, a pair of bells, a flag capable of forming countless restrictions. He paused, eyes narrowing. And most importantly, Liao Fan confirmed he cultivates the underworld ascension method. The old woman's expression shifted, shock flickering across her face. You have investigated him thoroughly. The Sectmaster nodded. How could I ignore someone who caught the attention of Mount Suzaku and was personally ordered to fight Red Butterfly? His gaze sharpened. The title of Suzaku must belong to her. I will not allow another to take it. He set the cup down. I sent Liao Fan with my treasures. Through him, I learned much. The old woman lowered her head respectfully, no longer speaking. The Sectmaster continued, voice calm but decisive. Now is not the time to kill him. We wait until after his battle with Red Butterfly. No matter the outcome, I will personally end his life. He leaned back slightly, eyes glinting. This man is skilled at escape. The giant demon clan has informed me their star compass may already be in his possession. If he opens a spatial rift and escapes into the void, only late-stage soul transformation cultivators could catch him. The old woman frowned. Then, what does Sectmaster intend? The answer came without hesitation. If we strike, we must not fail. When I act, he will attempt to flee. So, before the battle begins, I will set a formation to seal space itself, and I will request aid from the giant demon clan. 2 soul transformation cultivators against 1 soul formation cultivator. A faint smile appeared. No matter how extraordinary he is, he will die. The old woman's respect deepened. At that moment, the old man set down his cup and spoke for the first time. For a mere mid-stage soul formation cultivator. Is this not excessive? The Sectmaster smiled faintly. Do you know his domain? The old man looked up. Oh, according to Red Butterfly, his domain is life and death, the cycle of reincarnation. Silence fell. Such a domain, the Sectmaster said softly, cannot be underestimated. Even if its wielder was only at the soul formation stage, a trace of regret flickered in his eyes. The old woman sighed quietly. Deep within her heart, fear lingered. Long ago, when Red Butterfly was still young, she had glimpsed her future. A calamity awaited her, and now she feared that calamity was Sengnu. Time passed. 5 years slipped by like drifting clouds. Zhou was no longer a small child. Now 10 years old, she had grown taller, stronger, and far more unruly. The gentle girl who once fed the elder sister atop the pagoda was gone. Though she occasionally remembered it, she no longer returned. Instead, she roamed the mountains freely. Her footprints covered nearly every nearby peak. Though small in stature, her courage knew no bounds. Tigers, wild beasts, none were spared her mischief. Of course, with her strength alone, she could not truly threaten them. But she was not alone. 4 years ago, Taeyan arrived. He had reached the brink of soul formation. Yet within the cloud sky sect, he could not break through. So once again, he abandoned everything and chose to follow Wang Lin. With him at her side, Zhou became even more fearless, laughing, playing, living without restraint. As for Wang Lin, these 5 years had been spent in relentless cultivation. He refined his foundation again and again. He pushed forward, seeking to break into the mid-stage of soul formation. But no matter how he struggled, the barrier would not yield. He had reached a bottleneck. If it could not be broken, his path would stagnate here forever. Over these same 5 years, the number of challengers seeking him decreased, yet his name only grew louder. Sang knew. It spread across the lands, whispered among cultivators, spoken in awe and fear alike. And then the appointed day arrived. 10 years had passed. The battle with Red Butterfly was at hand. Half a year earlier, a messenger from Suzaku had arrived. Outside the valley, he placed a transfer array, a single-use formation, capable of crossing the planet and delivering Wang Lin to the land of Suzaku. Now, Feng Yushan stood respectfully outside the valley. He had arrived 10 days ago, carrying the challenge letter agreed upon a decade earlier. For 10 days, Wang Lin had not answered. Within the valley, he pondered, should he go or should he refuse? Suzaku had not pursued him for past actions. That alone was suspicious. Wang Lin's thoughts turned. They want to accept me as a core disciple. Just like Red Butterfly, this battle was not merely a duel. It was a trial, a spectacle, a test witnessed by the ancient monsters of Suzaku and the entire cultivation world. Red Butterfly's fame had long shaken the land. The destruction of the four-sect alliance, the forced rise of Shuiyu to rank 5. Such feats unheard of in history. And then Sengnu appeared, stepping over Red Butterfly, severing her arm, rising to equal fame. Now their clash had become the center of the world. Whoever emerged victorious would receive unimaginable fortune. This truth was known to all, and Wang Lin understood it clearly. If I had been stronger then, they would have killed me without hesitation. But I was weak enough to be useful. His eyes slowly brightened. The hesitation vanished. In that moment, Wang Lin made his decision. Before the wind could whisper what fate had in store, a farewell was already being carved into the mountain's silence. High upon a rugged slope, beneath drifting clouds and ancient trees, a strange and almost comical scene unfolded. Yet hidden within it was a quiet sorrow none could yet escape. A young girl, Zhou, sat proudly atop the back of a massive black tiger. In her hand, she held a slender willow branch, delicate, yet merciless. With it, she tapped the tiger's head again and again, lightly but with unquestionable authority. At the same time, her bright eyes flickered sideways, secretly stealing glances at the young man not far away. Wang Lin, the tiger beneath her, did not dare to resist. Its enormous body moved slowly around the mountain path, head lowered, spirit subdued. "Little White, raise your head," Zhou commanded, her tone sharp despite her small frame. The tiger let out a low, reluctant growl and obeyed, its head lifted. "Bow," the tiger lowered it again. "Look up, up." Bow, down, over and over again, more than 10 times. The cycle repeated endlessly. Yet the tiger had long since grown numb to it. In its heart, it harbored only one fragile hope, that this little ancestor riding its back would one day grow bored and release it, just like the black bear from before. The tiger did not dare resist, not even slightly, because it understood something deeply. The old man in this valley was already beyond what it could challenge. But the young man, that quiet, unassuming youth who gave off no spiritual aura, he was far more terrifying. The tiger had seen it with its own eyes. Just days ago, cultivators far stronger than the old man had bowed respectfully before this young man. To a demonic beast that had cultivated for 3 centuries, such a sight was unforgettable. And so it knew. This was someone it absolutely could not offend. And because of that, it endured everything Zhou demanded. Compared to the fate of that black bear, it considered itself fortunate. It still remembered, a dignified black bear, forced to walk on its front limbs like a fool, forced to use chopsticks to eat, even forced to use its claws to massage. Each time that memory surfaced, the tiger trembled deep within its bones. It was a proud demonic tiger. Such humiliation it could never accept. But lowering and raising its head, that it could endure. Not far away, beneath a quiet pagoda, Wang Lin sat in silence. He watched the tiger being tormented. A faint smile appeared on his lips. This beast had cultivated for 300 years, yet its strength barely reached the level of Foundation establishment. When Zhou first saw it, she had immediately ordered Taiyan to capture it, and just like that, a once proud demonic tiger was given a new name, Little White. At that moment, a voice echoed from outside the valley, calm yet carrying weight. Fellow cultivator Seng Mu, the 10-year agreement has arrived. I come under orders from Mount Suzaku to deliver your challenge letter. The voice belonged to Feng Yushan. Wang Lin's gaze shifted from Zhou to the outside world. Silence lingered for a moment. Then he slowly stood. Taiyan. The name fell softly. Taiyan, who had been immersed in cultivation, opened his eyes at once. He rose and stepped forward, standing respectfully before Wang Lin. I will be leaving for Suzaku, Wang Lin said calmly. I do not know how long I will be gone, at most 8 years. His gaze softened slightly. During that time, take care of Zhou for me. Zhou did not turn, but her ears twitched, and suddenly she grabbed a handful of the tiger's fur. Bad uncle! Bad uncle! Each word was accompanied by another tug. Though her strength was small, the pain reached the tiger's nerves. It dared not protest. It could only release soft, pitiful growls. Taiyan nodded. After a brief hesitation, he spoke with concern. Suzaku is the strongest nation on this planet. Experts gather there like clouds. Benefactor, you must be cautious. His words carried sincerity. Once he had called Wang Lin master, but now he called him benefactor. Because Wang Lin had given him something more valuable than life itself. A path toward the soul formation stage. Wang Lin nodded. I will leave the pagoda here and open its domain. Within 50 kilometers, none may approach. Except you and Zhou. His tone grew firm. You must protect her well. Taiyan immediately bowed. Benefactor, rest assured, I will guard Lady Ru'er with my life. Wang Lin paused. Then he raised his hand and tapped his storage bag. A streak of white light burst forth. It landed on the ground and transformed. A thunder toad appeared. The moment Zhou saw it, her eyes lit up like stars. But beneath her, the tiger's body trembled violently. An overwhelming demonic aura surged from the toad. Ancient, oppressive, terrifying. The tiger's instincts screamed. Its legs nearly gave out. In that instant, its respect for everything within this valley deepened even further. Even if it were forced to walk on its hands, to eat with chopsticks, to massage, it would never dare complain. Wang Lin crouched down. Come here. Zhou pouted and turned away. She ignored him. But after a moment of thought, she struck the tiger's head lightly and stuck out her tongue. Bad uncle, going out to play alone and not taking Ru'er. Wang Lin chuckled softly. As Zhou grew, she became more mischievous. So unlike Li Muan, if not for the unmistakable presence of Li Muan within her, he might have doubted everything. Over the years, every powerful beast in the mountains had suffered under Zhou's antics, yet she never harmed them. Instead, she would beg Wang Lin to heal injured creatures. Each time Wang Lin looked at her, a quiet ache stirred in his heart. To keep her by his side, he had taken away her childhood. No other children, only beasts. Was he too selfish? The thought flickered and vanished. He was not a selfless man. He could not entrust her to others. Only by keeping her near could his heart remain at peace. Ru'er, he said gently, be good. Uncle is only going out for a few days. When I return, I'll catch you an even bigger tiger. Zhou's anger vanished instantly. Her eyes sparkled. How big? Bigger than Little White? Wang Lin nodded. Bigger. She tilted her head, thinking, then nodded. Okay, but you must come back quickly. Wang Lin reached out and rubbed her head. I will. His voice softened. And while I'm gone, you must stay within 50 kilometers of the pagoda. Do you understand? She nodded seriously. But don't forget my big tiger. Wang Lin smiled faintly. He stood, then looked toward Taiyan, his thoughts deepening. It wasn't that he didn't trust him, but Zhou was too important. Trust alone was not enough. That was why he left the Thunder Toad. If anything unusual happened, it would act. In truth, he was overly cautious. Taiyan had abandoned everything. His only goal was cultivation, and Wang Lin had given him that path. To him, Wang Lin was salvation. Moreover, he had watched Zhou grow from infancy. He already saw her as his own. Even without orders, he would protect her. And Li Muan's pills had aided him greatly. Wang Lin instructed the Thunder Toad to guard Zhou. The toad puffed its belly, then lazily basked in the sunlight. Wang Lin trusted it completely. Sometimes, Beasts were more reliable than humans, and beyond all of this, he had one final safeguard, his original body. As long as it remained, all danger could be resolved. This was his true foundation, his hidden blade. Unless absolutely necessary, it would never be revealed. With everything settled, Wang Lin turned and walked out of the valley. He did not know whether what awaited him would be ascension or ruin, but after 500 years of cultivation, his heart was unshakable. The path ahead, he would walk it endlessly. Behind him, Joru watched silently. She tugged at Little White's fur. The tiger understood immediately. It ran forward. Wang Lin turned. Joru leapt down and said softly, "Uncle, squat down." Wang Lin smiled and crouched. "Reminding me about the big tiger?" She shook her head. Then she leaned forward and kissed his forehead. "Uncle, come back quickly. Ruer will miss you." Wang Lin froze for a moment. He simply looked at her. Then he nodded. "I will return soon." He stood, took a deep breath, and left. Joru watched his figure fade into the distance. Her small voice echoed quietly. "Uncle left. He won't play with me anymore." She turned to the tiger. "Little White, from now on, you must play with me every day. Understand?" The tiger shuddered. Its heart filled with silent despair. It let out a weak growl. Joru's eyes suddenly reddened. Tears began to fall. For 7 years, they had never been apart. A warmth had grown in her heart, a feeling she could not name, attachment. Fear of loss and fate had its own quiet mysteries. The place where she now stood was the very spot where long ago a single tear from Limuan had fallen. That tear once carried sorrow, loneliness, pain. But now, in this same place, another tear fell, and this time it carried love and longing. Joru wiped her cheeks, then suddenly pointed forward. "Little White, handstand!" The tiger let out a mournful cry. Far away from this quiet valley, another storm was beginning to rise. 1 month before Wang Lin's destined clash with Red Butterfly, a great upheaval shook the giant demon clan. One of their ancestors, after absorbing enough celestial jade brought back by Chai Hu, broke through the heavens and stepped into the realm of soul transformation. The first of the giant demon clan to do so. And with that, the winds of destiny began to stir once more.